Hey, this is Rick with Just Silver. I'm gonna make a charm bracelet right now. Try to. It's really hard to video something with your hands right next to you, and what you're doing is also real hard to get to because of the camera where it has to be in order to film something. So anyhow, this is costume jewelry. There is nothing real about any of it except for the charms of how they look. Everything is basically bought from Amazon, and I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon. I don't buy any of my silver or anything of that nature from Amazon because big companies make it, and most of the time it's not real. It's silver covered brass or silver covered copper. Anyhow, this is aluminum chain, and these are aluminum charms. And I try to put all the charms to where they're facing one way. That's why they're on this pincushion looking thing that holds everything together. So basically, these are the jump rings, and I hope you're getting this on film. Anyhow, these are jump rings, and you just try to put them through the loop here, and then try to keep them as straight as possible. So when you're putting them together flush, they hold together, and the charm itself. Where did my pliers go? Well, I gotta get another pair of pliers. They hit the floor. Hold on just a second. Things happen. Oh, where'd they go? There they are. Okay, anyhow, sorry about that. I try to put the the nicest looking charm in the middle, and that way it also gives me a sense of where I'm at as far as what I'm doing also. So you want to get them just as flush as possible, and that's pretty easy to do if you just pay attention to what you're doing. Run your finger across it to make sure there's no snags or anything. And with your big pliers here, you can get it pretty good. I mean, some people might have a little hard time doing it, at first, but it's really pretty easy. So you just grab another jump ring here, like that. These are almost a needle nose, but not quite. And these are a real big flat nose. And I use these a lot for squeezing things together and also for making things flat because they do a good job of it. Excuse me. I put about 10 or 12 charms on each bracelet. On the big ones, you can only put about 6 to 8. But if you're putting little ones and big ones, you can make, 10 or 12, stuff like that. So it goes pretty quick if you just pay attention to what you're doing. And believe me, this is probably my 10th or 12th one in the last couple of weeks because of Valentine's Day and all that, everything else going on. I'm just putting the rings through this, and this is like a beaded chain, almost. I have so many different chains I use, and they just they all look almost the same to me, but they're just they're just chains. They're just nice and small, and you can get other stuff. You can get almost any kind of chain you want out of Amazon, and they all look really nice. You can get a whole roll for probably $25, $30, somewhere in there, and you can make probably 20 or 30 bracelets with that much footage. It's usually about 35 feet, and anywhere between 30 and 50 feet. It gets a lot. And you can buy these charms. You can get, I think it's about, you can get a couple hundred of them for hardly anything. And for making costume jewelry, this is something that you can do all by yourself. You don't really need any kind of learning lessons to do it. And it's nice. And you can make pretty good money at it. But you have to tell people this is costume jewelry. This is no silver at all. It's not like most of the things I do make are pure silver. I use fine sterling silver in almost everything I do. I make the Byzantine, I have full Persian, I have a half Persian, I have a foxtail, I have foxtail weaves, and all of that stuff is all real. There's nothing fake about it. It's all .999 fine sterling silver, and I get all my silver from Rio Grande Jewelry Supply Company in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Fine bunch of people down there. They'll help you out in any way possible. You can get 100 feet of pure silver wire for around $275, $300, something like that. And that's really a good deal if you think about it. So yeah, I do a lot of business with them. I'm not gonna say a lot, but if you're wanting to make a bracelet, say, I'll do like this. This is aluminum. I'll make a lot of bracelets in this too. This is number 18 gauge. No, wait, this is number 16 gauge right there. It's about 1.3 millimeters, something like that. Anyhow, these are rings right here. This is on a 7.5 millimeter mandrel. And this also makes a full Persian, which I don't have one close by, but anyhow, each one of these circles equals out to almost 2 inches. Wouldn't believe it, but it does. But anyhow, it takes about, this is probably, I think, about 10 feet of wire just for this one thing. And to make a good bracelet, you need about 200 rings, 250 rings. And it takes a while. It's tedious. It takes a long time. It's hard. And you got to be really paying attention to what you're doing. If you watch some of my videos on making sure your rings and stuff are just so flush up together, it will tell you, I will tell you on the videos how to cut your wire and how to make sure that you got a good fit where it really looks nice and you're not doing anything wrong to make anybody think that something else is different from what you're really looking at. I'm trying to get these. I had a bunch of them laying out on the couch. And this one's kind of bent. I'm not going to use that. Got some more right here. Now, if I was making a silver charm bracelet, getting the charms is hard to do. You either have to buy a bunch of them from Amazon and make your own molds, which is really hard to do. It takes time. It takes practice. You just don't go and make molds just by making a mold. You got to use. It depends on what kind of mold you want, really. If you want a mold that's going to be lasting a long time, you got to start with silicone. There's classes on making, making silicone molds, and then from the silicone mold, you have to make a metal mold or a wax mold, and then from there you have to do. It's a process. You're not gonna just. You got to learn about a lot of things before you go just making a whole bunch of little molds, and they don't look like anything. And then you have to have something to melt your silver with, either a smelter or a big torch, and they're not cheap. A smelter can run anywhere between $300 and $500 just for a cheap one. So, you're looking at a lot of money. You can get torches. The torch has to have oxygen to it, otherwise you're not going to get the full potential of the heat that you need to use to melt whatever you're melting, because you have to have a lot of heat source to melt silver or gold or whatever you want to do with. It takes a lot of stuff to make stuff. It's how much you want to get into making jewelry and how much you want to spend. It's kind of like, this is like a VW right here. You can make charm bracelets for fun, and once people see them, they're going to ask you, well, where did you get it? Well, I made it. Wow, can you make me one? I'll pay you for it. That's normally what people say. And then you're into making jewelry. Because you'll make one, then you'll make another one, and you can buy the stuff to make them all with, and that's all you need. It's all done. I'm not going to put that one there. It's too big. I'm going to put this one here. I like it better anyhow. Put it down here at the end. That's too big there too. Let's see if I got another one. Yeah, here's a heart. Let's see. Yeah, that's a foot. I'll use that one instead. It's still big. I didn't want to use something that big, but yep, we're not going to use it anyhow. It just fell. Okay, there's a little one. A star. So we're going to put that right at the end here, right next to the dolphin. And a lady I know, she's seen, I showed her a bracelet that I had already made previously, and she said she wanted one like that. Well, with all the charms I have, I looked all over the place to get her an exact, and I couldn't do it because I didn't have them all. I didn't have all the, I didn't have all the charms that she wanted from the previous uh, charm bracelet that I made. Now these are like little aluminum. This clasp is real. There's nothing that's fake about it. And they cost, well, it cost about $40 for 10 of them. You know, they're sterling silver. Now, getting a sterling silver like I want, like I use 999 fine sterling silver. They don't make clasp like that, so I have to settle for 925. But yes, this is 925 sterling silver, and I'm gonna put it. I'll turn all this around so y'all can see it. I hope you can see it. Anyhow, I'm gonna put that right there on the end, like that. Now, if y'all are going to, if somebody says, well, I'd like mine welded together. Well, on costume jewelry, you cannot do that, because as soon as you put a torch to it, it's either going to melt or it's going to turn colors that you can't get back. It will turn black on you, especially if it's got brass underneath it. But anyhow, this is the clasp, and we'll get this little guy right here. It's got a ring in there, and they all come with rings. It's like, you gotta, if you get the clasp, they'll come with a ring, but they're worthless. They're not any good at all. But the clasp itself is really good. Where I buy them from, the lady she takes care of her stuff really good. You make sure the springs work, and that's it. That's a charm bracelet. They're all facing towards you. So when you got them on, they're all facing the direction that you put them on, and that's what people like to see. And that's a charm bracelet. I sell this for about $40 to $60, because by the time you buy all the charms, buy the chain, and bring them home, and buy the jump rings, you're gonna be into probably $60 to $65. And if you want one of these things, they're about $10, $12, something like that. They got them with all kinds of things. They got them with magnifying glasses. They got them with more roach clips to hold on to things with. They just have a bunch of different kinds of stuff. Just look at Amazon and you'll find pretty much everything you want to find. And for a nice charm bracelet, that looks pretty cool. It'd be like that on you, you know, that's nice. And, or like that. There's a charm about every inch, and it looks cool. And people like that, and that's why they sell. So you will never not have a buyer that's going to want a charm bracelet. So yeah, it turns out pretty cool. I'll put one more here, maybe two more right here, because it was up on the side, and we'll go from there. But I wanted about 1 inch to hang down anyhow, because it looks cool. A lot of old bracelets a long time ago always had a tail, and I like tails myself. And like, I'll do that right there. And it doesn't matter what size the person is with a chain like this, or any chain for that matter. You can put the clasp up as far as you want to go, and it will hold on no matter what, if you get it in the hole itself. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I saw a lot of anklets. Women love anklets. especially getting ready for summertime. They want to have something around their feet that looks really nice. Okay, well, this is Rick. Give me a like, share, subscribe. You know, if you like something, tell me in the comments. And y'all have a good day. And fixing to be a weekend. Have a good one. But if you want to try this again, just watch my video again. And do me a favor, just hit that like button. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.